Hey y'all, it's been a while, and I'm not even gonna waste your time by telling you where I've been. Your girl has been busy. I'm gonna get right on into why I'm here today. I've just been having so many conversations with people in my network, friends, family, everybody I can think of. And it's just been the same conversation over and over and over again. And I'm talking about smart people, capable people, successful people. Everybody is feeling some version of stuck right now. Some version of stuck, some version of trapped. And I want to talk about exactly what that is. I want to make it clear that people aren't feeling stuck because they are lazy. It has nothing to do with it. And it's not even that you're not doing anything, because most people are in some sort of motion. But when you feel stuck, it really boils down to you being in this constant loop of inaction, right? You decide you want to do something, you think of something cool, and then you start preparing for it and you have this dopamine hit, right? You're preparing for it. And then maybe things don't go your way and then you start complaining about, whatever is in your way from getting what you want. And then you also maybe thinking that, "Oh, I don't have the time. It's not the right time for me to go after that." And all of those things have exactly one thing in common. They have you sitting and they keep you sitting in the exact same place that you were originally. You have not moved, you have not changed your situation, you have not done anything about it. You still have the same desires, you haven't made any strides towards it. And so it really made me think about probably it's been about 15 years ago now, from when podcasts really started taking off, and I was working a job and I was listening to podcasts all day long, pretty much at my desk. And so there was this guy named Justin, and I can't remember his last name, but he was doing a real estate podcast, and his messaging was he just kept saying fail fast, like, try the thing. The goal is not to succeed, the goal is just to try. And then I was also listening to my Leak Teal, who's my big sister in my head, and her messaging is consistently take action. Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't play small, go after it and do the thing. And so I'm not sure if between listening to the 2 of those consistently really helped change my mindset or if I've just always been that way, but ever since then, I've just gone after everything. Like, anything I want, I just go after it, and it's like my default setting seems to be taking action, and sometimes to a fault. Sometimes I take action before it's time to take action, right? And I look back and I'm like, "Oh, I wish I had more information," or "I wish I had this," or "I wish I had that." But I never quite regret taking the action because it's always moved me a step further, right? Even if you don't get the intended result, it's like either you learn or you learn. And it's always putting you one step closer or one step further ahead than of the person that has done nothing. So, what I want to make clear is that I think a lot of people think that you're born with confidence or that you're born with the ability to just keep stuff moving. And I think what I've seen throughout my life is that that is a skill, and it's a skill that you build and you practice and you hone. And the only way to build it is to keep it moving, keep taking a consistent action. Kind of how I have been doing when I think about like my life and all the trajectory. It's just been a series of experiments, like things that I wanted to do. And like, when I went away to college and studied engineering, some of these things I'm sure nobody saw in my future. Like I didn't even see. And what I discovered is that it just seemed like I was always looking for something. And so I actually, sat down, rambled off to ChatGPT, kind of like my trajectory of what everything I've pushed through. And so I did engineering. And then After engineering, I got my real estate license, and so I was selling real estate, and after that, then I wanted to do fashion, and I was going to move to New York and be a fashion stylist, and then I got my MBA, and I decided I was going to climb the corporate ladder. And then I was in my entrepreneurship season where I was just, building my brand and doing all the things. And now here I am in my AI consultant season. And so it really made me think that like, oh, I'm sorry, I was saying I was talking to ChatGPT. So I told ChatGPT about all that stuff. And I'm like, what do you think about this? And so what Chat replies to me with is that you seem like you just will not be trapped. You will not be stuck. Like you will just keep, moving around, trying different things until that feeling goes away. And I'm like, that is so true. I mean, when I think back, like one of the biggest lessons I would think came from when I wanted to go do fashion because I was going to quit my 6-figure job to go be a stylist and probably make $30,000 guaranteed, right? I wanted to do it that bad. So I was going to quit my job and do that. And so what I used to do was I took a part-time job at a boutique and it was a lot of hard work. I mean, I learned how to fold clothes like doing chores at home, but like no, you're folding clothes all day long. So it was just hard work, right? And very little money. And so that was one data point, and then, I used to take PTO, like, right, I would take vacation from work, and I would volunteer for New York Fashion Week, and I got to meet all sorts of people, like, I got to do backstage, and I loved it, like, it was so much fun, but I met this guy, and he was, telling me that, like, if you're serious about getting into fashion, have you considered that you may have to go sit on the casting couch? And I was like, "What?" Like, I was appalled. I was like, "Is this man serious?" He wasn't propositioning me or anything, but he was kinda just keeping it real about what a lot of people had to do to, like, get into the fashion industry. Like, it looked glamorous, but he was just keeping it real. And I was like, "Wow." And I think just all the dots connected that, like, I didn't really care for my experience at the boutique. This man is talking crazy, and I don't know if making less money is actually gonna make me feel freer. It all lined up and I was like, "You know what? This is not it." And I hard pivoted, hard pivoted to getting my MBA and making more money in corporate America. But I don't regret any of it. And it's like I took so many chances. I put myself out there. I got to do things that I never would have done. And the only reason I was able to come to the conclusion that fashion wasn't for me is because I took the leap and I like dipped my toe and I tried it and I like really got to see what it was like for myself. And I think if it were not for that experience, I would still be sitting here today talking about I wish I was in New York doing fashion. And the action, like when I think back, like taking the action, it got it out of my system. And so I think a lot of people may be sitting in that too, that you're wishing and hoping and praying that you could go do something or you could have something, and you don't even know if you want it for real. And so you really need to test the waters, right? Like take a small step, see what's out there, fail fast, like Justin used to always say. And it's like at the time when I wanted to get into fashion, I was so over corporate, like over it. And, through the years, I've become very extremely grateful for it because it helped me reach a lot of milestones, right? Do a lot of things I didn't think I was going to be able to do. I was able to do a lot. Have done a lot of first when it comes to my family, and my ancestors are I'm literally living their wildest dreams. But as grateful as I am, the truth is that corporate is and always has been quietly limiting your options. It's giving trappish just a little bit. I mean, just in my corporate experience, I've been laid off twice. And I know a lot of friends, family members, people highly educated in industries that they would never dream or even think that they would be uh, having their job at risk. But today, where we are, political climate, economic climate, technology going crazy in the age of AI, there has like the mass layoffs. I don't even know if there's an end in sight. There have been hundreds of thousands of people that have been laid off, and to be honest with you, we might be moving into a season where you only eat what you kill. And the only way to survive that kind of season is to be able to take action. You don't have time to prepare, over prepare. You don't have time to complain. And you certainly don't have time to ask if is now the right time, because now is all the time you have. And so it's like if there's something that you even think you remotely want to do, you owe it to yourself to go try. And the thing that the corporate is teaching us with all these mass layoffs, they're taking action. They are taking massive action to protect themselves, to shore up their bottom line. And so at what point are you going to take a similar stance and take the action that's going to do something for you and start building your skills and start building your capital and start building your audience? Because those three things are the only thing that's the only way to build leverage. And leverage is the only thing that gets you out of the trap. So it's like you have to you have to take action because you have to try to shore up your baseline. Right now, so many people are comfortable or even maybe they're scared, but they're still in the corporate universe or not even corporate, one source of income universe, relying on your college degree universe, relying on one of anything universe. Things are so uncertain right now. We all owe it to ourselves to take action towards something. Even if you fail, you'll be further ahead than the person who did not. And the people who, the stories on LinkedIn of, they've given their lives, to a career that they thought would last forever. And now, unfortunately, a lot of people have regret. And so just do the thing. I think if you're happy in corporate right now, you're feeling quite secure and even you're feeling secure, you're going for promotion, you're the fan favorite, it does not exclude you from taking action toward something else, a backup plan, a plan B, just following your desires. I mean, who knows, right? I mean, think about the people who had something they wanted to do right before COVID hit, and now you were in the house for the next 2 years. So I think living as if you have the time and that you'll do it later, you gotta do it now. You gotta do everything you wanna do right now. We are not getting any younger. And I honestly, don't really live by like age or let age control me, but you just never know. I wanna experience everything I wanna experience while I'm healthy and while I got my wits. So I'm going after it. And this video is an example of me pushing myself and taking action. I haven't been on my channel in quite a while, and I got a lot going on right now. but here we are. And I just really wanted to share that. I wanted to uh with this channel create a space where I can just come share and like what's on my heart, what's on my mind. I don't have anywhere else to do it. There's either the LinkedIn politics, there's my entrepreneurial crowd on Substack. Confidence is cash if you're on Substack. And then I have my other YouTube channel, the Prompt Life Podcast, where I'm sharing all my AI knowledge. But this space here is really for me to kind of document my own journey as well and just yap about what's on my mind, what's on my heart, and just to connect with everybody who's been rocking with me for years at this point. And I just want to leave you guys with, if there's something I said, if I've even encouraged you to take a teensy bit of action, or if I have changed your perspective at all, just at all, if I've done that, then I've done my job here. My job is done. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.